I'm leaving Coachella today, so let's get ready for one last time. This is without a doubt the most ridiculous video I've ever made, because I can't think of anything worse than travelling in my makeup, so I will immediately take this off after I've finished. But I've so enjoyed like telling you about my day. I want to tell you about yesterday, and I've had a real change of heart about the whole thing, so I'll show you the glittery makeup I did last night. So just to quickly frame my face, I've used my It Cosmetics CC cream and a bit of the Peaches bronzer. I'm going to use a little bit of the It Cosmetics Sunblush. I'll do a soft little lip. I've had one of the Bobby lip tints with me, by the way. These are so great as like a really hydrating balm, but they have a bit of colour in them. That'll be coming on the plane with me. And let me quickly do my eyeliner. Do you know what I did yesterday actually with this? Let me see if I can show you in here. I did my eyeliner. This is Sphinx from Peaches, and then I just did a few big blinks to get it to print on the top. Oh no, actually I did this look, just kind of closed and gave them a rub, because I struggle sometimes with liner because I wear lenses, not to get them all over the lenses. But see, like that's done the job, hasn't it? So yesterday I just did a big smush because so in the day, me and Naaman had gone for lunch. He's gone home now. I'm literally like devastated. So gutted to be leaving Coachella. I've done a complete 180 actually, and I've had a really lovely time, and I'm really sad to be going home. But at the same time, I've had a lovely time and I'm sad to be going home, but I also feel like it was enough time, and it's like the perfect day to go. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if I'd had one more day, I'd be a bit tired today, and I wouldn't know if I actually had the strength in me to do it. So we went for lunch in the day, and then it was really, really warm out. So when we came back, we were just like, oh, should we have a little sit down for 5 minutes? Also, one thing that has been really, really helpful, and I read this on Reddit before I came, but what I will say is an awful lot of stuff that I read on Reddit was not particularly what I feel was true of the festival, but this really was. Someone had written, keep like a rehydration sachet or drink near you, and if you feel a bit peaky at any point, just have that and it'll perk you back up. And basically there was this drinks company that had a little thing at the front of our hotel, and you could just go and get one on your way out. It says it's by Messi. I don't know if that's like footballer Messi, but anyway, had one of those, had a little sit down for a minute, good to go again. So anyway, all of that said, we didn't end up filming any makeup. I did his makeup on the coach and we did film it, but I actually quite ballsed it up at one point, so who knows if that footage is ever going to see the light of day. I'll have a look at it today when I'm at the airport and see what the story is, and we'll take it from there. But yes, what I did yesterday was as quick as this. I put on a little iridescent glitter on my brow bone, smushed on a brown, because really it's not this that I want us to be looking at, it's the glitter that's going to go on top. Now the shame of this makeup is you're not going to see it in the natural light because I'm in the window, the daylight, but when it was night time, when it was a golden hour as well, and when it got to night time, and think you're in this dark space and then all the lights of the festival are twinkling on it, it looked incredible. So it's one of the little space case ones. It's this Houdini, and it's a beautiful chunky lilac, and I just laid it all over this. It looked a bit messy, no sharp edges, but when the light hit it, it was absolutely beautiful. I also did some glitter tears kind of down my cheeks that again looked lovely in the light. However, my eyes are a bit all glittered out because I've had glitter on every day. They're a bit sore today, so I'm not going to risk it, obviously, because I'm just getting on the plane as well. I can't be doing like 20 hours of travel, 3-part journey home with a little itchy watery eye. That'll tip me over the edge. But I'll try and show you this next door so that you can see how it looked in the dark. So my overall feedback is, if I'm really honest, I think I judged Coachella a little bit too soon. On the first day, I got a bit of a surprise. I didn't realise, I now realise, that Coachella is quite known for being very kind of like full of content creators, quite being seen to be there, that kind of atmosphere. I just thought it's a different festival, it's on the other side of the world. The main reason I wanted to go is because, as you know how much I love Chapel Roan, because she kind of had a huge rise after Coachella last year. That's why I wanted to go. And like, if you remember last year, you had Lana Del Rey, she brought out Billie Eilish, Sabrina Carpenter was there. It was just so incredible. They had No Doubt recently. I had all these visions of like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing, this is somewhere I want to go. And then I suppose my prior festival or music experiences are largely UK based, so I was expecting it to be like, the only thing I can describe it to you as, I was expecting it all to be a bit more Gavin and Stacey. Do you know how everyone's kind of a bit rough and ready, having a laugh in the UK? That's just what I thought it was going to be, and it wasn't like that. So on day one I got a bit of a shock, and I thought, oh gosh, like no one's letting loose, no one's having any fun. I really was quite amazed on day one, and so I think I was a bit like, oh gosh, you know, what is going on here? I actually, on day one, I'd texted a few of my friends and said, it's literally like an episode of Black Mirror, because so many people around you are making content, and I've just not witnessed that at a festival before. I'm not throwing stones from my glass house. Look at me talking to you in a mirror. Like, the irony is not lost on me, but it's just not what I was expecting in a festival environment. I thought it'd be all like music lovers chatting. Like, for example, I was speaking to Coach yesterday, who I'm going to see at Primavera in about a month and a half. We literally made friends because we met in a queue for a concert. That's the kind of thing I thought I was letting myself in for, and it's not like that. But that said, it doesn't mean it doesn't have its absolute perks in its own lovely way. And I think as the days went on and I realised what I'd signed up for, I started to appreciate the niceness in all the things I'd signed up for. So like, for example, I genuinely feel if you're a quieter person, or for whatever reason the thought of something quite rowdy makes you anxious, I think you'd love Coachella. Side note, Gabrielle, who did my makeup at the Pinterest pop-up, who I loved, and we'll have to talk about the Pinterest pop-up separately because I just loved it so much and I want to give it its own moment. I'm gonna do a video of like showing you everything I've been harping on about, because for example, if you wanted to come here, this coach and hotel package thing that we did was so great, and I would really recommend it. For a once in a lifetime, it's not like I'm going to be coming here every single year. It was worth it to have a really comfortable experience the one time you are going to do it, do you know? And just quickly, I've used up most of my gems while I've been here, but also, seeing as I am taking this off in a second, none of these are going to match, but you'll get an idea of the placement. But yeah, honestly, if you're a quieter person, if the thought of a really big crowd that's a bit rowdy overwhelms you, you would love Coachella, because like all of these things that I was a bit thrown by on the first day have their advantages and their disadvantages. I would say compared to other musical things I've been to, no one's particularly dancing. I find that strange. I've come to dance, but there is just, you know, it's a different kind of atmosphere. I find that strange. I didn't know that's what it was like. But like, if you feel like you'd be overwhelmed in a big rowdy crowd, you're going to love that. You'll probably really enjoy this environment. And like, one thing I will say, which is really a huge contrast compared to when you go to anything in the UK, bearing in mind I was here for 3 days, at no point did I see anyone drunk. It's not really a place where people go to, I mean, listen, I don't know what people are up to. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but I certainly didn't notice any like obviously disorderly behaviour. If that is something that would concern you, I think you'd really like it here. And do you know what, it's one of those where I honestly don't want to sound like I'm turning my nose up at anyone for making content. Hello, she says putting gems on in a little video she's making to then take her makeup off to go to the airport. I know it probably sounds ridiculous, but I think for me, I can really actually understand if you were like a content creator It's a very visually beautiful place, and I can see why you would get swept up in the excitement. I had a really lovely moment last night where basically my laptop screensaver for a few years now was just a photo I found online and I really liked. It's a pinky purple sky, and you can see all palm trees. They're kind of darker because it's kind of sundown. And I looked at the sky and it looked exactly like my screensaver. And like I was saying to my friend this morning, growing up, I always went to Ireland on holiday to stay with my family. Wouldn't have wanted to do anything else. That was exactly how I wanted to spend those summers, and I'm so grateful for it. But like, Ireland is known for ridiculously bad weather. So these kinds of things, I've never seen a sky like that. I think that was my first time, especially with that kind of view. I've never seen anything like that, so it was incredible. Or like, I've been watching, when I've been editing these videos to post them, I feel like my eyes have been going over I'm looking over the camera, and it's because I've got the phone clipped up to the window. What I can see is cactus, blue sky, sand. It's just such a visually beautiful place. So by the end of last night, I just didn't want to go anywhere. I had a lovely night. We saw the Basement Jacks last night. They were incredible. We saw Megan Thee Stallion. The whole time, actually, I feel like I haven't really spoken to you about who we've been going to see. We've seen some amazing people. T-Pain was amazing. There's been loads. I think the moral of the story is, atmosphere-wise, it's not quite my atmosphere. That wasn't what I was expecting. But actually, it's such a beautiful place. I think with the right lineup, I remember was it yesterday that I was like, yeah, wouldn't really come back here. I 100% would, but I would look at the lineup next time, because some festivals, even if it's not like people you're absolutely mad about, the atmosphere makes it amazing, and so you have a great time. This one is so beautiful and so special, and I think you would love it so much if you were coming to see someone you were mad about. So that would be my overarching thoughts. But anyway, for someone that has been absolutely poking fun at people making content, I'm now going to wash my face to take all of this off and go to the airport. Thank you for watching these. I know they've been a bit different. I've really enjoyed them. Only I could make all these videos about Coachella. I haven't shown you one thing. I've been taking little clips and things though, but I haven't wanted to be like super on my phone. So when I've got home, had a little rest, I'll go through loads of other bits with you. And I've got so much more to tell you. Like, for example, I daren't even broach this. There was a potential mix-up with my flights, which, touch wood, I'm touching wood, was fine on the way over. I'm now in the horrors about going back. I can't be going into that with you now and tempting fate, but like, we have stories coming out of our ears. But that also meant I'd kind of planned for before I was coming to show you things like what I was packing for the heat, all of that. Didn't get a chance to because I was on the phone trying to sort all of this out, which we hope and pray has been sorted out. So I'll show you some of that when I get back, because I know this is a bit different from what I would usually make for you, and please feel free to say your thoughts on that. Like, has it been nice? Are you not really that bothered? You just want to watch me do my makeup? You'll tell me. But actually, travel wise, I feel like this collection of things that I put together, from my skincare to hair, makeup, like my hair, for example, that's been in about an hour. It's this, I put this here so I would show you, the Living Proof Air Dry Styler. That is the best air dry stuff I've ever found, and I would really recommend it. And it just means I haven't had to pack any heat tools or anything, because I've just washed my hair and put that in it. And when you've got hair like mine, which is thin and curly, all this stuff that you see online about the curly girl method, it doesn't work for our hair. I mean, curly girl method conversations are a can of worms for another day that I don't want to be opening. But basically, I find it difficult to find things that are lightweight, that will sculpt it a bit, and that has been great. And I need to do War and Peace about this Megababe anti-chafe cream. I'm going to go into loads more detail about this because it's so important for the summer. Last year, Emily Johnston did a Zoom with the founder of Megababe. Was it last year or maybe the year before? Anyway, they did a Zoom because Megababe was launching into Boots. And as a brand, the founder, I think her name is Katie Sturino. I follow her on Instagram. I'll find her name and put it in. She has made all of these solutions for things that maybe you wouldn't feel as forthcoming to discuss, but would be maybe making you uncomfortable. And this Thigh Rescue anti-friction stick is one of them. So I get such a thigh rub always. And in the call, Emily was like bouncing off Katie to tell us about it. And I've tried things like this before. They never really do anything for me. And I said, are you sure? Like, I really get this. And if I was out and I used this and it didn't work, it would really be an issue. And Emily was like, Rose, how many years have you known me? You know I wouldn't say that. And how many different outfits I like to wear. I'm telling you, it's the best thing I've ever used. So I thought, okay, I've gone through loads of them. It's genuinely brilliant. It's one of the few things. Do you know how in my videos I always say use what you've got at home, use up what you've got? And I really, really mean that. You should always do that. And then occasionally I'll say there's the odd thing that you actually need this specific thing. There's no replacement for it. That's one of those. It is brilliant, and it just means you can wear whatever you want this summer. And a bit like Emily said to me, I wouldn't say that to you because there is nothing more painful than that, and I don't want to wish that upon you. This is amazing. I really recommend it. So it's stuff like that. Watch me now when I get home tell you the exact same story all over again, but it's stuff like that that is important to know if you're going away. And like, if it's your one holiday that you've been looking forward to all year, that you've spent a lot of money on, you want everything to go smoothly. And that's the kind of thing that will really help you to do that. What else did I want to tell you? I feel like I'll go into more stuff when I do you like a full overview of the trip. But I need to go to the airport. I need to wash my face, go to the airport. I might write a little Coachella-y thing. The thing is, I'm still high off how lovely it was. And I know that when I get back, I'll be on the wrong time zone. I'll just want to sleep. And also, like, the moment will have passed. So I might try, if I've got time, to write a little something at the airport. I'll definitely do a video, what to expect for the first time, talking about this package thing that we got because it was brilliant. And I'm going to Primavera in like a month and a half, so we'll have all this going on all over again to see Haim. I'm really looking forward to my Haim summer now. Anyway, have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll chat to you on the other side of my jet lag.